Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge.
So the first part of the game is going to be the danger deck. There's always going to be these two cards, and there's some more cards you can put in the deck to make it a little harder, but these are going to be the neutral one. And then for each bad guy, he's going to have his own set of cards that you'll add in. So you'll take the neutral cards with the bad guy cards, and you'll shuffle them up, and that will be your danger deck. Each player turn, not round, but each player, every time a player takes a turn, you're going to turn over a danger card and do what it says. Normally, this is going to put tokens out on the board. We'll get back to that later. The middle part will be something that will happen, and then the bottom part will be this particular villain will move towards this sidekick. So if you're looking here, even though like I might be playing as Tinkerbell, at the bottom of this, Gaston is going to move towards Lumiere. So it's going to be a little bit different, more character specific. So attack the board. This will be something that will usually happen to you, and then this particular villain will move towards this particular sidekick, and that will happen over and over again. So if Johnny takes a turn, he's going to flip over a card, do what it says, take his turn. Then when it's Kevin's turn, he's going to flip over a card, do what it says, and then take his turn. And then Sarah will turn over on her turn, do what it says, take her actions, and that will continue. So at the beginning of the game, you are going to pick a sidekick that you would be. Let's say I'm Lumiere. I would pick him and set him aside. I would then take Belle, who is his hero, and place him in the center. And Belle is who I am trying to save. Then, for each hero in the game, I'm going to put a lock token in here. In order for the players to win, I have to unlock this, save Belle, and defeat one hero. It does not have to be my villain that I defeat. It just has to be a villain, which means we have to get their health all the way down to the bottom. So even though you might be playing a 4-player game and have 4 villains in the game, we only have to defeat one, but everybody must rescue their own hero. There's a few ways for the players to lose the game, like if all players lose their health, but the most common way that I've found is by villagers and guards. So these spaces on the board will end up having villagers, which are these little small tokens with people on them. If you ever have 2 of these on there and a third one has to be added, it will fill up here. The same thing with the guards. Each space, this is really tiny, each space can only have 1 guard on it. If a space was to get a second one, it would go here on the tower. If all 5 tower spaces are filled up, the players will lose the game. Now, some of the villains are going to have losing conditions for the players. If that's met, you will also lose. But I found this to be one of the major ways that you're going to lose the game. You're also going to have these bridges out on the board. You can see I have some put across. If 3 bridges are ever destroyed, the players will also lose the game. So you want to be careful about protecting the bridges, protecting the villagers, protecting the guards, making sure the villains don't hit you too much. There's a lot to kind of juggle in this game. So I've explained a little bit about how the danger deck will work. I explained a little bit about the win and losing conditions. So what do you do on a player's turn? Well, each player is going to have a sidekick that they will control, and that will be put out on a spot when the game starts. And then you will have a villain that will automatically be out, and that will be placed on a spot. So what a player can do on their turn is they can move 1 space for 1 action. And each player will have a number of actions depending on what this number is here. Usually it's 3 or 4. So I can move 1 space. But if there's a sidekick in that space or a villain, I can't go in that space. I would skip over them and go somewhere else. So you could definitely chain things as you're going through. So let's say I wanted to get over this spot to save these villagers. For 1 action, I can simply move all the way there because these things are occupied, so I can move here to take this action. Now, if I want to take a villager off the spot, I simply spend an action to take it off. I would take the villager and place it on one of my cards. Now, when I'm placing villagers on the card, I can never have the same color twice, but if I fill it all the way up, then I take the villagers off, they go back in the supply, and they will be a power that I will have for the rest of the game. Then I slip it underneath this, and now I have this power. You gain 1 star when other sidekicks roll a star, and when villains attacking other sidekicks roll a star. So then I would have that power for the rest of the game. So there's 2 reasons why you want the villagers off. 1 is to activate your powers, and 2, they don't come up on the tower. Another thing I can do is if I'm in a space with a guard, or if I'm adjacent to a villain, I can attack it by rolling the die. A thumbs up from Mickey is a hit, a scratch is a miss, and a star gains me just a star. But what these villains are going to do is they're going to have stars for health. So you'll fill this up with stars as it goes through. And when I hit and successfully attack, I take the star off and I'm able to gain the star. So if I did that, now Tinkerbell would have a star. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to collect these stars. This is how you win the game. If you have 5 stars, I can go here if I'm adjacent. So let's say it's here and Tinkerbell is here and this lock is here. Sorry, let me make it Lumiere. Then I can take 5 of my stars, give them up, and unlock this. And then for another action, I can just go ahead and rescue Belle. So what we're trying to do is quickly manage the board as much as possible, but in addition, I need to gain those stars to rescue her to try to solidify the win condition of the game. That's pretty much how you're going to play the game over and over and over again, is you're going to be able to spin your actions to move after a danger card comes out.